My name is Whitney Bello. I'm 27 years old, and I built my luxury hair studio from nothing. Small microfinance loans, sleepless nights, and a stubborn kind of belief that doesn't know how to quit. People see the glass doors, the ring lights, the silk press stations, the wait list, and they think my life is perfectly arranged. But the truth is, the one thing I didn't build properly was my relationship. Kingsley and I had been together for 4 years. 4 years of me trying to make it work, trying to be patient, trying to understand busy, trying to interpret later as love. Every anniversary, I treated it like a reset button, like if I made the night special enough, it would remind him that I mattered. That year, I got to Monarch Restaurant by 7 p.m, early enough to breathe, early enough to look like I wasn't anxious. I wore the dress he once said made me look expensive. I did my makeup slowly, carefully, like I was painting confidence onto my face. I even practiced what I would say when he walked in. Something light, something sweet, something that wouldn't sound like I had been waiting for him all day. At 8 p.m, I was still smiling at the waiters like I wasn't slowly breaking inside. I told myself he was on the way. Lagos traffic, meetings, a late call, something normal. At 9 p.m, my smile had become a mask. I kept looking toward the door, like it owed me answers. Like if I stared long enough, he'd appear, and everything would be fine. Then my phone buzzed. Something came up at the Port Harcourt site. Sorry. Can we do tomorrow? No call. No, Whitney, I'm so sorry. No, I'll send a car for you. No, let me make it up to you. Just another delay typed out like I was a schedule item he could move around. 2 hours alone at a table meant for 2 people. And the worst part wasn't even sitting there. The worst part was that I still went home and tried to understand him. I still defended him in my mind like I was his lawyer and not his girlfriend. The next morning, he called like nothing happened. Morning, baby. You okay? I'm fine, I said, the way women say fine when they don't even recognize themselves. No, you're not. What's the mood for? I swallowed. I just thought you'd show up. It was our anniversary. For me to hope he'd apologize. Then his tone shifted, colder, sharper, like my feelings were an inconvenience. Whitney, you make everything a problem. I'm building an empire. Empires don't take anniversaries off. I wasn't asking you to shut down your business, I tried to explain, my voice smaller than I wanted it to be. So what do you want from me? Should I let the site collapse so I can sit at a restaurant? And somehow, within 5 minutes, I was the one apologizing for being hurt. I was the one trying to sound reasonable. I was the one promising not to pressure him. That's what loving Kingsley had become. Me shrinking my needs so he could feel like a good man. A few nights later, I slept over at his place. I told myself we were fine. Couples fight. People get busy. This is what adult relationships look like. I wanted peace more than I wanted clarity. In the morning, his phone slipped off the bed and landed face up on the floor. I didn't pick it up to snoop. I didn't even want to. But the screen lit up, and a message popped up so clearly I couldn't pretend I didn't see it. from a contact saved as O. Did you tell her yet, or are we still pretending? My stomach dropped so fast it felt like my body forgot how to breathe. When I asked him about it, he didn't panic. He didn't stumble. He didn't look guilty. He got angry. So you're reading my messages now? It was on the screen, I said, because I couldn't even find the right tone. Who is O? It's OA. My lawyer. It's business. You always assume the worst. Then he softened his voice, smooth like polished wood, like a man who had rehearsed reassurance. Baby, you're exhausted. You work too hard. You're imagining things. I love you. And I almost believed him. Not because the explanation made sense, but because I wanted it to. Because the truth felt too heavy to hold. Because if I accepted what my instincts were screaming, I would have to do something about it. Later that week, I met my friend Ada. Ada is the kind of friend who doesn't decorate the truth. No soft landing, no maybe, no fake comfort. She looked at me for 2 seconds and said, "Whitney, I've heard things." My chest tightened. Heard what? Lego circles, private dinners, women. You're sure? I'm sure he's careful, she said. He gives you almost enough to confront him, but never enough to catch him. That sentence hit me like cold water, because it explained everything. Why I always felt uneasy, but never had proof. Why every confrontation ended with me apologizing. Why I felt like I was constantly auditioning for my own boyfriend, trying to perform the version of myself that would finally make him choose me properly. I'm not defending him, she said calmly. I'm describing reality. A rich, cheating man is better than a broke, loyal one. Her words felt like betrayal, but I understood where they came from. My mother had survived hardship. She had watched women choose love and end up hungry. She believed security was the only romance that lasts. But I was tired of surviving. I didn't build my life from scratch just to live in emotional poverty. A few days later, Ada dragged me to a charity event. I didn't even want to go. My heart was heavy and my mind was loud. But I went anyway, dressed up, smiling through it like women always do. That's where I met Alfred Mensah. He wasn't loud. He wasn't performing. He didn't announce himself like a man who needs the room to validate him. He was calm, observant, the kind of presence that makes you feel seen without being watched. He asked about the cause. He listened when I spoke. He didn't talk at me. He talked with me. Days later, I ran into him again in a boutique. He looked at me and said simply, "You built that studio on Amino Crescent? You should be proud. Whoever built it has taste." It wasn't a flirtation that made my skin crawl. It wasn't a compliment that came with expectation. It was just respect, stated plainly. That night, his assistant handed Ada a card. Ada's eyes widened. "Whitney, do you know who this is?" "A government man," I said, trying to keep it casual. "That man does not give his personal number to strangers," Ada whispered. I tried to ignore it, because my life was already complicated. I didn't need another storyline. But the next day, A massive arrangement of white orchids arrived at my studio. The girls at the front desk screamed like it was a proposal. There was no long message, no poems, no pressure. Just one word on the card. Alfred. That evening, he called. Did you like the orchids? They were beautiful, I admitted, then quickly added, but I have a boyfriend. I know, he said, like he wasn't threatened by the fact. Then why are you doing this? Because life is short, Alfred replied, and because I find you interesting. He invited me to dinner. Quiet place. Private room. No cameras, no crowd, no trying to impress anyone but me. I told myself it wasn't a date. I told myself it was just dinner. Networking. Conversation. But sitting across from him, I felt something unfamiliar. Not butterflies. Not anxiety. Not confusion. Just calm. I realized I had been so used to emotional turbulence that peace felt suspicious. At some point in the conversation, I mentioned casually that I'd never seen Abuja from a helicopter. It was one of those throwaway lines you don't think anyone will remember. He remembered. A week later, Alfred arranged a helicopter ride at sunset. No drama, no bargaining, no, let me see if I can fit you into my schedule. Just be ready at this time. As the city stretched under me like a painting, it hit me in the clearest way. Kingsley didn't forget because he was busy. He forgot because he didn't consider me important enough to remember. And once you accept that, you can't unaccept it. Kingsley noticed I was pulling away. Men like him always notice when the control starts slipping. One evening, he came over, acting sweet. Perfume gift, softer voice, promises that sounded like they were borrowed from someone else's relationship. I've been thinking, he said. I want to change. I've dropped everything that would make you doubt me. Have you? I asked, because my body was tired of lying. Then his phone buzzed. Again. And again. I reached for it, not even aggressively, just calmly, like I was finally ready to stop guessing. He tried to stop me. And right there, the truth finally stood still long enough to be seen. Not a lawyer. Not business. A woman. Who is she? I asked. It's not what you think, he started, like they all do. It was a mistake. How long? I asked again. Silence. Then he did what he always did. He made cheating sound normal, like I was childish for expecting loyalty. Men cheat, Kingsley said, with a shrug in his voice. We don't keep one woman. That was it. Something in me went quiet. Not broken. Quiet. Like a door closing gently. One day, she asked quietly, "Does he make you beg for things?" "Never," I said. There was a pause on the line, and when she spoke again, her voice was softer than usual. "Then hold on to that," she said. Because I finally learned the truth. I am worth more than waiting by the door. Worth more than being handled. worth more than apologizing for someone else's disrespect. I was always worth more.